All right, everybody, we are back with the Radiance. We're gonna try to wrap this up, this game. I think we're near the end. But anyways, I entered the history classroom feeling uneasy as if I'm afraid of what information I might find. I wait until the classroom is nearly full before entering. Rayla is already in her seat when I slide in next to her. Where have you been? Outside avoiding the inevitable. You really think Mr. Mordain might have something to do with everything that's been going on? I think it's possible, but I don't have any proof yet. I don't know if you should be digging around, Nori. If he is dangerous, who knows what he could do to you. That's just it. Whoever's behind all this, I don't think they can do much to me out in the open. I've got the protection of the headmaster. That's why they originally tried to get me to leave the school. The shadow monster stopped in its attack before it could do any real harm. I think its main purpose was to scare me away. Maybe, but I just don't like it. I'll be fine. All I plan to do is ask him for tea and see if I can recognize something from my vision. You're going to have tea with him alone? It's nothing I haven't done before. I'm staying with you. What? You said you just wanted to observe him, right? Then let me join you for tea. Shouldn't hinder your plans. Rilla, this is my issue. I don't want to drag you into it. You're my best friend. Your issues are my issues. She throws her arms around me and pulls me into a firm embrace. Ow, you have a lot of strength for somebody so small. That's the strength of friendship, Oracle. You can't resist it. Okay, you can stay with me. The rest of the class passes at a glacial pace. I find myself tapping my foot anxiously. I'm not sure what I am afraid of. I don't expect Professor Mordain to attack me right here in the classroom. Maybe I am afraid to find out if he's responsible. I don't want my suspicions to be correct. When the lesson is over, the students begin streaming out of the room. I approach Professor Mordain with Rayla at my heels. Miss Adonis, Miss Balanos, what can I do for you two? I was hoping maybe you had time for some tea. The lemon tea you gave me really helped me out last time. Oh, of course, please sit down, Miss Balanos. Would you like some tea as well? Rayla gives a stiff nod. She is not very good at keeping her emotions off her face, but the professor doesn't seem to notice. He rummages around his desk and produces 3 cups. The cups are white flowered china, just like my vision, but they're also the same cups they use in the cafeteria. It's just not enough to go on. I'm just so glad that you're feeling better after your ordeal. We didn't get to discuss it much last time, but you must be relieved now that the culprit is being sent for questioning. Maybe you can finally get some answers that will give you a peace of mind. I sip on my tea to keep myself from having to comment on his statement. Rayla sits in with her arms folded, tea untouched. It's probably better that she stays silent in this conversation. I just can't believe one of our own students at Sarenville could be capable of such behavior. Of course I've heard about his family situation, but I thought Professor Balin's judgment of the student was sound, I guess. Even the headmaster can make mistakes. He stirs his tea idly as he speaks, and it's not until he sets the cup down on the table that a shock runs through me. This is it, the swirling of the liquid in the cup, the angle, the handle. This is what I saw. This is from the vision. I nearly choke on my tea, and Rayla stands up from her seat, alarmed. Oh dear, are you alright? Professor Mordain finally notices Rayla, a look of confusion on his face at her outburst. I need to get us out of here before he starts getting suspicious. Yes, I'm fine. Just drank a little too fast, I think. Well, we better go. Rayla has a quiz to study for, right, Rayla? Rayla nods and we hurry out of the room without waiting for a response. As soon as we get to a safe distance from the classroom, Rayla stops me. What happened? Did you see something? The teacup matched my vision exactly. Does this mean Professor Mordain is guilty? Oh god, I don't know. I'm not sure a teacup is enough proof to go on. What else did you see in your vision? A room with an old wooden door, maybe an office of some kind? I don't know any teacher that has an office like that. It's probably not an official office, more like a secret hideout. Okay, so we are to search the school until we find the secret hideout. Or I could let him lead me to it. How? I could follow him if I catch him going to that room for my vision. That's even more proof that he's the one who sent those letters. I don't know, Nori. That seems awfully risky. Maybe you should just report it to Professor Balin. Part of your vision came true. He will take your concerns seriously. You might be right. Of course I'm right. The headmaster is way better equipped to deal with a rogue professor than we are. Promise me that you'll at least try to let the authorities handle it before you go rushing into danger. Promise. Okay, I promise. Tomorrow's my Azrite class, so I'll be seeing Professor Balin anyway. I'll hold off until I can talk to him. Okay, good. Now I'm exhausted. You want to skip the rest of your classes and go hang out in the courtyard? Not a chance. I still have one council test to think about. Fine. I guess I'll go to class too, even though skipping would be much more fun. Alright, elective class. Sorry, you hear my clicking. My bad. My dogs are gonna bark, I'm sorry. Professor Balin is not in the Azurite class today. As usual, Arian is presenting to our class in Headmaster's absence, though he seems particularly on edge, a rarity for the usual stoic oculi. There's also more commotion in the classroom than usual. Students are huddled together, whispering to each other. I lean over towards the girl sitting in front of me. Lyra, what's going on? What's everyone whispering about? You didn't hear the headmaster has fallen ill, that's why he's not in class today. He's sick? Is it serious? Not sure, I've heard conflicting stories, you know how gossip spreads around this place. Do I ever? Please cease your chatter so we may begin the lesson. A student near the front shoots his hand up. Arian does not look pleased. Yes, Mr. Zavai? Is it true the headmaster is dying? A few gasps erupt from the classroom, including the one up from my own mouth. Dying? Arian has to wait several moments before the students calm down enough for him to speak. No, the headmaster is not dying. Please do not spread such misinformation. Then what's going on? I heard he's been ill all week. Once again, this is news to me. How could I not have heard about this? I've been so caught up in my own affairs. Since it is becoming clear that this class will not continue in its current state, I will share the information with you. Though as students shall not be privy to all the information. Professor Balin is indeed ill, but there is nothing to worry about. His personal doctor has arrived and is directly overseeing his care. More whispers travel across the room, though they are less frantic this time. A student behind me whispers loudly to her friend. My numerology professor told us it was poison. Poison? I catch myself turning toward the girl, worry washing over me. Yeah, some rare kind. The school nurse didn't even recognize it. Could that be true? Poison doesn't seem like an accidental illness. It seems like it was awfully familiar. I don't get a chance to ask the girl more information as Arian raps loudly on the podium, demanding our attention. I can't concentrate, however. Something about the nature of the headmaster's illness is bothering me. Perhaps I can visit his office later and get some more information. Time for today's elective class. Geomancy. Oh shit, and then it's about to be the weekend. Somebody in the review said there's only 12 weeks. Is it really about to end? I have little hope that I would be allowed to see Professor Balin, but that doesn't stop me from rapping on the door of his chambers. I'm particularly surprised when the doors open almost immediately. However, it's not Professor Balin that answers, but Arian. My heart beats a little faster at the sight of him, but now is not the time. Nori, what are you doing here? I need to see the headmaster. You know that the headmaster is ill and he cannot accept visitors. What's all this about? I have something to tell him. It's really important. Then you can tell me. Of course, I can share my suspicions with Arian, but he will know what to do. Is it true Professor Balin was poisoned? Surprise registered on Arian's face. He clearly did not expect me to know about that. Is it true? It is true, but where did you hear this? I heard some other students talking about it. I suppose word travels fast, but there's nothing for you to worry about. The headmaster is receiving the best care. It's not that, it's just... This is gonna sound crazy. You can tell me. Well, I have a reason to believe someone else was also poisoned recently, and it might be the same person. Who was poisoned? Sybil, the former oracle. Where did you get this idea? I asked Samia to tell me how Sybil died. I needed to know the truth. She told me there was poison found in her system. The council secretary told you this? I think she wanted me to feel more at ease with the situation. She thought me knowing her cause of death would make me feel better or something. And did it? I'm not sure. She says it was an accident, but I trail off wondering if I just sound paranoid. Arian reaches out to me, his warm touch calming presence. After what you've been through, I certainly understand your concern, but the headmaster's doctors have not indicated that foul play was involved. Again, with this accidental poisoning crap, how often do accidental poisonings occur? Well, what does the Professor Balin say? Does he know if someone might have poisoned him? He is not saying anything at the moment, as he is currently not awake. What? Please do not repeat that. We do not want hysteria in the halls. Oh, okay. Okay, I won't, but since we're talking about it, is there any chance you could tell me what kind of poison it was? Once the headmaster's private doctor arrived, she was able to discern the nature of the toxins in the system, a plant called monkshood. Monkshood? Oh. Is that not the answer you were expecting? I just thought maybe it would be the same poison that killed Sybil. And what would that prove? It could prove that the person that poisoned Sybil may also poison the headmaster. Sybil's death was ruled as an accident. That's what they say, but I'm not so sure. I must tell you that it would be extremely difficult for someone to poison the headmaster without getting caught. They also said the same thing about the Oracle. Arian gives me a long look, and then pulls me closer to him, but still at a respectable distance. We are in an open hallway after all, and a relationship between the headmaster's assistant and a student would likely cause equal hysteria. When he continues, his voice is soft and comforting. If the healer suspects foul play, then there will be an investigation. Until then, I don't want you assuming the worst. Despite his soft tone, I sense this is my cue to stop asking questions. But you'll let me know what they say? Of course, but remember this information does not go past us. My lips are sealed. Suddenly, I remember something else I had planned to ask the headmaster. There's one more thing. What happened to Dex? What do you mean? I heard he was being sent to the council today for questioning. Oh, that? Well, with this new development regarding the headmaster's health, they've put that on hold. So he's still locked up there, here in Sarenville? That is my understanding, yes. Poor Dex. I now know that he is not guilty, but he's still being treated like a criminal. Is everything alright? I don't think Dex is guilty. I think whoever has been after me is the same person that poisoned the headmaster. If Dex is innocent, then that will come out in the investigation. Will it though? I'm not so sure. I understand your concern, but there is nothing you can do for Dex or Professor Balin for now. You need to trust the authorities. I nod, but don't reply. Of course, Arian is going to side with the lawful approach. However, I'm not so sure I agree. Arian gives my shoulder a squeeze, then retreats back into the office, and I'm left alone in the hallway. Something doesn't feel right about all this. Sure, the same poison does not need to have been used for it to be the same culprit, but it sure makes it harder to prove. I need to do some digging. Fishy. Rayla, have you ever heard of a plant called monkshood? That doesn't ring a bell. What kind of plant is it? A poisonous one, apparently. Let me check my handy-dandy encyclopedia of plants. She pulls out an absolutely enormous book and flips to the index. Monkshood. Are you sure that's what it's called? Pretty sure. Not finding it in the list of poisons either. Could Arian have been wrong about the name? No, I doubt Arian has ever been wrong about anything in his life. Then an idea strikes me. Does that book include plants found outside of Paralin? You mean like human plants? Nah, this is an entirely different book. Rayla replaces one giant tome with another. Haven't spent quite as much time reading this one. The human plants aren't nearly as interesting, no offense. None taken. Here it is. The monkshood plant is a herbaceous wildflower that can be found growing in the mountain meadows throughout the northern hemisphere, also known as wolfsbane. Monkshood is notorious for its toxic properties as it contains poison aconitatine. It also says several ancient Greek rulers were thought to have been murdered with this poison. Dang, humans are harsh, huh? Rayla continues to muse over the evil use of poison in ancient Greece, but I'm only somewhat listening. Contains poison of aconitine. I don't know how to say that. That certainly sounds like I don't know what that is. Can you look up aconite? Aconite? I don't know how to say it. Sure, that's a more specific name for a monkshood. Ooh, they also call it Queen of Poisons. I like that name much better. So my suspicions were correct. This is the same poison that was found in the former Oracle system when she died. This can't be a coincidence. Why do you want to know all this anyway? You got a project coming up? I want to tell Rayla what I learned about the headmaster's illness, but I promise to keep my mouth shut.